You have been told to think your way to success. You've been told to visualize, to plan, to affirm. And yet, for all the mental work you've done, the riches haven't arrived, the healing hasn't come, and the life you truly desire still lingers just out of reach. But let me show you something. Let me take you deeper into the truth that was always within you, waiting to be remembered. It is not thought that creates reality. It is not words alone. It is feeling. Feeling is the secret. Until you feel differently, your world remains unchanged. No matter how many times you write your goals or repeat affirmations like a chant, it is your inner state, your emotional conviction, that plants the seed in the subconscious and brings it into form. Right now, whether you are aware of it or not, you are manifesting your life through what you feel to be true. If you feel fear when thinking about money, you will call in situations that match that fear. If you feel unworthy of love, you will attract relationships that echo that feeling. You see, the universe doesn't hear what you say, it echoes what you feel. So when you walk through your day heavy with doubt, believing deep down that things will probably go wrong, your life complies. But if you dare to feel differently, to claim a new state of being, not based on your current circumstances, but based on your choice, then everything begins to shift. This isn't about ignoring what is. It's about refusing to worship it. It's about claiming dominion over your reality, not through force, but through alignment. You become a magnet not when you beg, but when you feel you already have it. To feel rich while your bank account is low, that is the key. To feel loved when you've been abandoned, that is the miracle. To feel whole while the world tells you you're broken, that is power. The outer world responds to the inner world, not the other way around. The moment you accept that what you feel inside is law, your manifestation journey truly begins. And now let me tell you why so many remain stuck, even when they know this truth. It's because they try to manifest using logic. They try to calculate miracles using the mind that was trained by limitation. But logic is not your creator. Logic is your jailer when used without imagination. The logical mind only knows what's been, what it can see, what it has measured. And yet, your future, your wealth, your destiny, it lives in the invisible. It lives in the heart, in the intuitive whisper, in the unshakable knowing that says, yes, I am more than what I see. You cannot reason your way into abundance. You must feel your way there. You cannot convince your logical mind that you are wealthy when it sees bills unpaid and opportunities missed. But you can bypass it. You can choose to sit still, close your eyes, and feel what it would be like to already have everything you desire. That's not foolishness. That's creation. That's what every mystic, every awakened soul has done across time. They did not bow to reason. They surrendered to feeling. Not feeling that comes from the outer world, but feeling that flows from the inner decision to claim a new state of being. When you begin to feel from your imagination rather than your senses, you transcend the old patterns. You begin to move beyond the mind's obsessive need for proof and into the spirit's quiet knowing. And here's what's beautiful. You don't need anyone else to validate it. You don't need a mentor, a guru, a sign from the sky. All you need is a private moment of emotional conviction, just one sacred moment of pure feeling, where you let the body remember what it means to be safe, free, prosperous, and in alignment with the truth of who you are. That is the moment that changes everything, and it is available to you now. What happens when you assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled? Most people think manifestation is about craving something until it arrives. They think they must try harder, pray louder, work longer. But what if I told you the real secret is not in the effort? It's in the assumption, not hoping, not wanting, but knowing. Assuming the feeling of the wish fulfilled is the art of stepping into the role before the play begins. It is saying, I am already there, and letting every thought, breath, and emotion rise to meet that truth. Do you know what it feels like to be wealthy, not just to dream of it, but to actually feel it? Close your eyes. Can you feel your shoulders relax, as though money flows easily to you? Can you feel your heart open, as if life is no longer a battle but a blessing? Can you walk through your home as though you've already received the promotion, the raise, the opportunity? If you cannot feel it, you cannot have it. That is the universal law, not as punishment, but as perfect alignment. The outer must match the inner. So when you train yourself to feel first, you become irresistible to what you desire. Here's the part that's most misunderstood. You are not waiting for the world to change. The world is waiting for you to change your feeling. The money you want, the love you crave, the peace you seek. It's already aligned with a certain vibration, a certain inner state. The moment you meet it emotionally, it begins its journey to you. Not because you earned it through struggle, but because you assumed it with feeling. This is where your true power lies. You don't have to chase the dream. You simply become the person who already lives it. That shift, that assumption, must begin inside. And it must be felt, not just spoken, not just visualized. It must be claimed as your new normal. The more you practice this, the more natural it becomes. And soon you will look around and realize the world has conformed, not because it changed, but because you did. You are not here to beg the universe. You are here to direct it with authority, and your authority is in what you feel to be true. So if you've spent your days affirming, "I am wealthy," but feeling anxious every time a bill arrives, it is not the words but the feeling that manifests. You must become internally immune to contradiction. You must feel wealth even when appearances scream poverty. You must feel love even when loneliness tries to convince you otherwise. This is not denial, it is decision. A conscious decision to walk in the end, result before it physically arrives. And when you do, the world has no choice but to follow. Not because of magic, but because of law. The law of assumption tells us, what you assume to be true, if persisted in, will harden into fact. And assumption is not mental, it is emotional. It is a deep, quiet knowing that lives in the body, that moves your energy, your posture, your choices. That knowing is what draws your dream into view. So pause now. What are you assuming today? Not what are you hoping, not what are you saying, but what are you truly feeling to be real? That is the state you are feeding. That is the life you are creating. And the miracle is, in any moment, you can choose a new state. You can claim a new feeling. You can embody a new version of yourself right here, without proof, without permission, because you are not waiting for reality to change. Reality is waiting for you to feel something new. And the moment you do, the shift begins. Wealth is not something you chase. It is not something you earn through stress, desperation, or endless striving. True wealth is not a matter of accumulation. It is a matter of alignment. You become wealthy the moment you begin to feel wealthy. Not when the numbers change in your account, but when the energy shifts in your soul. Emotional alignment is the currency of creation. And if you can bring your emotions into harmony with the reality you desire, the outer world will conform without resistance. You've been told that the path to prosperity is hard work and sacrifice. But how many people work endlessly and still feel lack? How many strive, hustle, chase, and remain in scarcity? That's because wealth is not drawn in by action alone. It is summoned by state. When your emotional state is lack, your actions are filtered through fear. Even your boldest moves will be tinged with doubt, and the results will mirror that energy. But when your emotional state is one of abundance, when you feel generous, supported, free, then even the smallest steps are amplified by the frequency of prosperity. You do not need to manipulate the outer world to become abundant. You must master the inner alignment. Start by asking yourself, what would it feel like if I already had everything I wanted? Would you walk slower? Breathe deeper? Would your energy shift from urgency to peace? That feeling is the portal. It is not imagination, it is instruction. You are giving your subconscious the blueprint, and the subconscious, which never argues, begins to draw in the life that matches that emotional command. This is why it is not enough to repeat affirmations mechanically. You must feel them. You must saturate your inner world with the emotion that matches your desire. Speak not just from the mouth, but from the state. When you say, "I am abundant," let it rise from your belly like a warm certainty. Let your heart beat differently. Let your posture reflect it. Let your decisions echo it. This is emotional alignment in action. This is manifestation made effortless, not by forcing the world, but by embodying the feeling. You are not becoming abundant. You are remembering that you already are. You were born with the power to generate any emotional state you choose, and the universe cannot withhold from the one who no longer feels separation from their desire. That's the secret. Your manifestations come to you not when you long for them, but when you become emotionally indistinguishable from the version of you that already has them. Now I want to show you the most powerful gateway to that state. It is hidden in plain sight, and yet most ignore it. It is the statement, "I am." These two words are not just affirmations. They are declarations of divine creation. When you say, "I am," you are not describing something. You are becoming it. You are planting the seed of reality in the fertile soil of the subconscious. And if you nurture that seed with feeling, it will grow without fail. But most people use "I am" unconsciously. They say, "I am tired," "I am broke," "I am unlucky," not realizing they are casting spells. Every time you say, "I am," the universe listens and obeys. So if you truly desire transformation, you must begin with new declarations. I am free. I am safe. I am abundant. I am loved. These statements are not empty. They are doorways. Walk through them, not with your words, but with your feeling. When you declare, "I am wealthy," it is not your job to figure out how. It is your job to feel the truth of that statement so deeply that the world must reorganize to match your conviction. This is not arrogance. This is alignment. This is spiritual responsibility. You are not lying to yourself. You are stepping into a greater truth, a truth that your current circumstances may deny, but your soul recognizes instantly. I am is the divine name. It is the force behind all creation. When you say "I am" and follow it with a feeling, you become a channel for infinite power. You are not invoking something external. You are awakening what has always lived within you. That is why your words must be chosen with reverence, but more importantly, your feelings must be chosen with intention. For the subconscious mind, where creation begins, does not understand sarcasm, does not filter truth from fiction. It accepts only what is felt. So ask yourself now, what am I declaring with my emotions? What am I claiming with my inner state? Am I repeating "I am abundant" while secretly feeling fear? Am I saying "I am loved" while carrying the wound of rejection? If so, that is the work. Not to fake it, but to feel it over and over until your nervous system accepts it as real. Until your mind no longer fights it. Until your body begins to rest in it. Then, and only then, will the outer world shift. Because then, and only then, have you truly shifted. And this brings us to the essence of creation. Living in the end. The power to manifest does not lie in your desire. It lies in your decision to assume that the desire is already fulfilled. The mind says, "One day," but the spirit whispers, "Now." Living in the end is not a denial of reality. It is the claiming of a deeper one, a reality that exists beyond your senses, waiting for you to dwell in it emotionally until it must come forth. You see, Most people live from lack while dreaming of abundance. They live from loneliness while praying for love. But you cannot plant a seed in winter and expect a summer harvest. You must first step into the season within. Living in the end means no longer wishing, hoping, or asking. It means being. It means that in your inner world, the outcome is already done, and your feelings, your actions, your energy all rise to support that state. This is why acting as if is not pretending. It is prophesying. When you walk with the confidence of one who already has, you are not lying. You are leading the world into truth. The outer must follow the inner. That is the law. So when you wake up tomorrow, wake up as the person who already received. Dress as they would, speak as they would, think as they would, but most of all, feel as they would. When you begin to live in the emotional end, you train your nervous system to accept the new reality as normal, and the body, once convinced, becomes a beacon. You attract not by begging, but by being. People, opportunities, and ideas flow to the one who feels fulfilled. Why? Because energy doesn't lie. Because the universe is responding not to your words, but to your state. And the state you live in consistently is the future you will walk into. You do not need to know how it will unfold. You do not need to force results. You only need to surrender the old identity and feel from the new one. That is the great paradox. The more you chase, the more you affirm its absence. But the moment you feel complete, the moment you feel whole, the moment you dwell in the end, the world begins to meet you there. Your task is simple. Shift your emotional residence. Move out of fear, move out of lack, move out of delay, and take up residence in the feeling of your wish fulfilled. Not someday, not when things change. Now, because only now exists. And what you feel now is what creates what comes next. The subconscious mind is the womb of creation. It accepts impressions not by logic, not by intellect, but by repetition and feeling. It cannot discern between what is real and what is vividly imagined with emotion. It simply says yes to whatever is consistently felt. This is where most people falter. They believe they must change the world to change their state. But the truth is far more miraculous. Change your state, and the world changes in response. When you reprogram the subconscious with feeling, you are not begging it to believe. You are teaching it through experience. You must feel it again and again until it becomes familiar, natural, automatic. That's how you change your destiny, not by fighting the old, but by embodying the new. The repetition of feeling is what impresses the desire upon the subconscious, and once impressed, it must express. If you want to be loved, feel loved, not occasionally, but consistently. If you want to be wealthy, feel wealthy, not once during a meditation, but throughout your day, in your tone, in your choices, in your walk. Make it your dwelling place. Just like a seed needs daily sunlight to grow, your new state needs daily nourishment of emotion. Even 2 minutes of real feeling are more powerful than hours of robotic affirmations. The subconscious listens not to what you say. It listens to the energy behind your words. You are never at the mercy of your past programming. The subconscious is plastic. It molds itself to the instructions it receives, and the most potent instruction is always emotional. You are not stuck. You are simply in a state that has become familiar, but you can choose a new state now. Right now, through feeling. And that new feeling will teach your subconscious a new identity. From there, life begins to reflect it. The journey from doubt to dominion is not about becoming someone new. It's about reclaiming who you've always been. Doubt is a state. It is not permanent. It is not you. It's just a well-rehearsed feeling. And like any feeling, it can be replaced. You don't fight doubt. You starve it. You stop feeding it with your attention. Instead, you nourish conviction. You choose it like a cloak and wear it daily until it becomes your second skin. You may ask, How can I feel certainty when I see so much lack? And I tell you, choose it anyway. Because your outer world is just a reflection of your past. Assumptions. It is not your prophecy, it is your past. The moment you choose to feel certainty, real, emotional certainty, you interrupt the loop, you break the cycle, you shift into a new vibration, and the universe, which is only ever echoing your dominant state, will respond. Don't wait for evidence. Be the evidence. When doubt says, "What if it doesn't work?" answer back, "What if it already has?" Every time you feel worry, pause and shift. Don't try to fix everything at once. Just move from doubt to neutrality, then from neutrality to belief, then from belief to knowing. You do this gently. You do this persistently. You do this because you are no longer letting your feelings be the reaction. They are the cause. It's like watering a seed. You don't dig it up to check if it's growing. You trust, you water, you wait. You live as if the fruit is inevitable. And in that patient, faithful assumption, the harvest comes. Doubt is just a symptom of the old state. But you are the master now. You choose the new, and you persist. Not in fear, but in quiet knowing. What you seek is not outside of you. It never was. The wealth, the healing, the love, it is all an echo of who you believe yourself to be. When you feel from the end, you collapse the timeline. You draw the future into now. You no longer pray from separation. You affirm from unity. You do not beg. You remember. You realize. You reveal. You already are what you desire to become. The only gap is the feeling of separation. And you close that gap not by changing the world, but by changing the way you feel within it. The moment you feel worthy, the world reflects worth. The moment you feel free, doors open. The moment you feel supported, miracles move. You are not waiting for the shift. The shift is waiting for you. So how do you maintain that state? By treating it as home. You stop visiting abundance and start living in it. You stop admiring love from a distance and start allowing it in every cell. You stop treating manifestation as magic and start understanding it as law. You are not here to earn your dream. You are here to remember it, feel it, become it. This is not about pretending. It's about feeling into a deeper truth than what the senses report. Your senses lie. They are delayed responses, showing you only what you once believed. But your feelings, they are immediate. They are the creative act. And when you align with the truth that your assumption creates your life, you begin to walk through the world with grace, with certainty, with effortless power. Now, beloved, let us bring all of this together. You have always held the key, not in your thoughts, not in your willpower, but in your feeling. You are the operant power. No one is coming to change your life because no one has to. You already possess the power to rewrite the script by stepping into a new state, feeling from it, dwelling in it, and allowing it to shape your world. The truth is simple. Feel it real, and it becomes real. There is no distance between you and your dream, except the story you continue to feel. You do not manifest what you want. You manifest what you feel you already are. This is the secret that has been whispered through time by the few who dared to look inward and claim their birthright. So I ask you now, not to wait, not to hope, but to feel. Not once, not occasionally, but daily. Make it your new foundation. Assume the end and let your life catch up to your assumption. Speak "I am" with reverence and confidence. Align your emotions with your declarations and live not toward the goal, but from it. The universe is not distant. It is listening. And more than that, it is reflecting back to you, the only thing that has ever mattered. The state you occupy. Choose wisely. Choose deliberately. Choose lovingly. And then, trust. Let go of the how. Rest in the knowing. For what you feel now is the prophecy of what you shall see soon. You are already the version of you who has everything. Now feel it and watch the world remember.